Assemblymember Gregg Hart joins us live this morning in studio to look back at his first year of serving in the California State Assembly. First, Hart represents the California Assembly's 37th Assembly District, which includes all of Santa Barbara County and South San Luis Obispo County. Almost 500,000 people, that's a lot. And he previously served as a Santa Barbara County Supervisor. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Lisa, it's a wonderful opportunity to come and join you and talk about the work I've been doing in Sacramento on behalf of our amazing district and community.
Yeah, that's a big district. Tell us about the transition from County Supervisor to Assembly Member. What was that like?
It was a big jump, and one of the first things that I was confronted with was there was a big fight for Speaker in the California State Assembly. So there was a lot of drama in Sacramento, and was able to navigate that. And Speaker Rendon appointed me as the Assembly Assistant Majority Leader, which was a great honor, and I think it helps represent our district. And then I've made the transition now as chair of the Joint Legislative Audit Committee for the California State Assembly under the new Speaker, Robert Reavers, which is another great ally of Sacramento.
All right, so looking back on your first year, what are some of the highlights for you? I know you did get at least a few bills passed and signed by the governor, correct?
Yes, of the 8 bills that I was able to get successfully through the legislature, the governor signed all of them. And it's just been a whirlwind of activity. Very beginning of the year, we had the tremendous storms that hit Santa Barbara County and South San Luis Obispo County. We were lucky to have Governor Newsom here to declare a natural disaster and to help our community get disaster assistance. And I was instrumental in helping that happen. There have been so many things over the course of the year, and it's just been an exciting time.
Yeah, you've been busy. So a lot of people, you know, they say the economy is doing so well, but for a lot of people, they don't see that. A lot of people struggling with wages, housing. What are some of the biggest problems that you see people in your district facing?
Well, you said 2 of them. Those housing and prices are the big things that I hear about when I go knocking on doors, or I have the sidewalk office hours that I hold throughout the district. And those are major issues that we're going to be trying to tackle and address up in Sacramento. Housing is something that the legislature has been focused on for the past few years, and I feel like we're beginning to make progress. Local governments are accepting that there's a real responsibility here at the local level, and working in partnership, we're going to hopefully build more houses that'll help lower the prices for everybody.
And how are you going to start doing that? And how do you get cooperation from your constituents and people you serve?
Well, the state has been trying to tell local governments that they have a responsibility with this challenge, and that working together we can increase the supply, and then supply and demand takes effect and hopefully lowers prices. And that's particularly important in serving our homeless population, because we've seen a lot of recent studies that show that homelessness is actually caused by the price of housing. People who have an economic shock, who can't stay in their place for one reason or another, and find themselves on the street, and as a result of the trauma that results from that, which is completely understandable, folks turn to drugs and alcohol, and mental illness surfaces as a side effect of that. But historically, we've seen it the reverse. We've thought that the drugs and alcohol cause the homelessness, but ironically and actually, it's homelessness that causes the drug and alcohol addiction and the mental illness. So we really need to get a handle on providing homes for people and bring them indoors.
Yeah, I'd say that's one of the big issues as well for people here. So you represent a lot of people. How can people get a hold of you? Are you reachable? Are you open to suggestions and comments? How do they do that?
Well, one of the fun things that I like to do are the sidewalk office hours that I hold throughout the community, going out in the neighborhood and asking folks to come and just meet me informally without an appointment, come and talk about any issues that you have. I can help connect them to the state services that our office provides directly to constituents, and we've helped thousands of people with projects related to the Department of Motor Vehicles or Employment Development Department. Any state agency, we can help provide assistance in working through the bureaucracy, and it's really fulfilling to know that we're helping people.
All right, Mr. Hart, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.